I think the things that I would like to tell people for not texting and driving, obviously, there's 90% of us do that. And she was the unlucky one. She was just, one of those that did it like everybody else, but she wasn't lucky enough to come out of this alive and tell her story. I still go back to, you're taught in driver's ed, put your seatbelt on. When you get in the car, adjust your mirrors. And I think the next thing should be turning that phone off and putting it somewhere you can't reach. That should be an automatic thing. And since this has been going on out here, I've had a lot of parents and adults telling me that knowing kids watch their parents and they mimic what they do. By them showing that they put it away when they're driving, the likelihood of those kids growing up to do the same thing, they're going to do the same thing. There's going to be less of it on the road. We hope. But teenagers, especially just starting driving, they're inexperienced. There's already enough distractions the way it is, and texting or even answering a phone call is another distraction. One that can definitely be prevented if they would just get in the habit of putting it away when they get in that car. You don't know how dangerous this is. You're not paying attention to what's going on. You're going to end up in an accident. Somebody can run into you. You can cause somebody to get hurt. Same thing that happened with her. The people that she hit, it's changed their lives forever. They can't work or anything for almost a year because of the accident. They don't realize what happens and what can happen. So when I see people that are texting and driving, I said, you need to think about what you're doing, because that's just as bad as drinking and driving. You're not paying attention to what you need to be doing, and that, it can hurt somebody or kill them. We want to use Maria's car as a teaching tool to make people aware of what can happen from just looking down at your phone for 2 seconds. You look back up and everything's over, and I'm hoping, because pictures only say so much, videos only say so much, but actually being able to reach out and actually touch something or look straight in at that driver's door and see how much room she was trapped in, it'll be a bigger impact on kids and adults. And hoping to go around like to schools and driver's ed, those type of things, festivals and fairs, so that more and more people can see this, hoping to teach them, what dangers there is of texting and driving. One thing I want to do, because I wasn't aware of it, was different apps that cell phone companies have out there that, let you know that you're driving not to disturb you now. Scramblers that they can put under the dash in these cars so your phone doesn't even work when you get in the car. Those are things that I had no idea that was even out there, or I would have had them for my daughter. My son is 15 and a half. He's got his permit. I know being his sister that this happened, it would, help, but you still want that extra assurance underneath the, knowing that there's no way they're going to use that phone when they're when they're driving. So getting the cell phone companies and the car dealerships, to know the different things that they have available for that to help decrease that chance of texting and driving, it would be awesome to do that. To prevent furthering the texting and driving epidemic, I believe it does start with the parent. As a parent, you know that everything you do, your little kid from 1 year old all the way up to the driving age, they're going to mimic everything you do. And if you just take that time and think about that, do you want your kid to be texting and driving when they get their permit or their license? I don't. Sometimes you think it's okay every now and then just to do that, but the kid will see that, and then they're going to think, okay, I can still do that. I'm fine. Mom was okay. She did it. But if these parents would just get in the habit of turning that phone off and putting it away where they can't reach it, most of the time you're only 30 minutes from where you're going. There's nobody that important to risk your own life or someone else's life in those 30 minutes. A text message or a phone call can wait. And that's the biggest message I want to get out there. There's nobody that you have to talk to on that phone that is that important to risk your life or somebody else's within 30 minutes of most of your driving. It can wait till you get there.